Minnesota Vikings. So I got to give them the crown right there, the little trophy for the week. Yeah, I'm coming ahead of all the odds because I ain't nobody had them picked today because I know I didn't.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Top Shelf Tuesday edition, we're going to go through NFL Week 2. Crazy week for the NFL. Segment 1, we'll do best, worst, and most surprising. Segment 2, we'll do our power rankings and our story of the week. And in segment 3, we will talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. And I wasn't very entertained. Joining us today, academic and athletic consultant for the CK Save Project, George Aka. George, what's the best thing you saw today, sir?
What's up, gentlemen? Good to see y'all. Hope everybody blessed. Best thing I saw today, Minnesota Vikings.
You mentioned them last week, man. Twice in a row.
Minnesota Vikings. So I got to give them the crown right there, the little trophy for the week. I'm coming ahead of all the odds because I ain't nobody had them picked today because I know I didn't.
And I know a certain member of our team didn't pick them either.
I'm sending him a hanky right now to wipe those tears away.
Okay. Captain for life, Will Cotton. Will, what was the best thing you saw today?
It would be easy to say Las Vegas, but I'm gonna let my man Sean get this one. I'm gonna tell you, Tampa Bay winning in Detroit was a big win.
Yep.
That was a lot of people, doubters, including myself. I will admit it, was a big Baker Mayfield hater and a doubter. And this dude is leading this team. They like the guy. They play for him. Godwin is playing amazing. Evans is he's basically like a fast Kelsey. You know, he's just as big. So, but they look good, man. And if they keep playing, man, I think people are not forgetting about Atlanta. And the truth, they might even forget about New Orleans because this is going to be a hot division right now.
Okay. And the all-time winningest player in CKA history, our point guard, Sean Sears. Sean, what was the best thing you saw today? I got my popcorn ready.
Hey, man, I was at the bank, what they call it, seeing my Las Vegas Raiders shock the world, get that W. I try to tell people, take it serious this year. Antonio Pierce got us balling.
All right. So, Sean, I'm going to stay with you, sir. What's the worst thing you saw today?
Well, worst thing I saw was that 49ers lost to the Minnesota Vikings. Like he said before, nobody had the Minnesota Vikings winning that game. Nobody. I bet you a lot of people lost and they pick 'em pool this week.
Will, would you like to pile on and make that the worst or anything else?
The worst thing, I mean, you could be easy. I'm gonna throw a lob to myself. The Carolina Panthers are just looking like they're not progressing. They're not looking like they look like they didn't even practice all season. Look like they just got together after their part-time jobs and then they just got back and like, hey, all right, let's get the season going. There's no sign of cohesion. There's no kind of nothing they get excited about, no big plays, no, it's looking bad, man. So they're gonna have to figure things out early. Because Carolina is in trouble, at least for the next foreseeable future.
Okay. What's the worst thing you saw, sir?
There's a lot of low-hanging fruit, but this is personal. I'm going personal. The Dallas Cowboys decided to leave their defense back at home. Because them Bama sure enough did not show up today. I don't want to hear none of that crap about, Dak, this, that, no. This wasn't on Dak. That defense couldn't stop a cold today. They couldn't find water if they fell out of boat. So the Dallas Cowboys defense performance was the worst I've seen today.
Okay. Will Cotton, what's the most surprising thing you saw week 2 of the NFL season?
Oh, man, it was easy to say again Minnesota, but I'm going to go and say Green Bay winning, man. That was a surprising win for them. Everybody thought they were going to lose because they lost Love. Everybody was hating on Malik Willis, including all the panels right here. I can't
Hey,
see
Liberty
Sean, but
High, Liberty College,
the rest
baby.
of us, the
Liberty
rest of us were
University.
hating on because. But man, they showed up. You know, the most important thing that they got on the right side of the winning column, and they're moving forward, man. So they're not 0-2, so they're 1-1. So they're right there in the fight. So that was pretty surprising for me for them.
Sean, what was the most surprising thing you saw today?
I'm sticking with my Las Vegas Raiders.
You were surprised?
Listen. When I went to the game, I said, I just want us to be competitive. We're going to make it competitive. I don't know. This is a Baltimore Ravens season opener. They don't lose their season opener. They don't lose. Yeah. They haven't lost in like 12 years.
Was Ray Lewis there, by the way? Did Ray Lewis do the little chicken dance or whatever they call it?
Listen, they know because they had a tribute to Jacoby Jones. You know, he passed away.
Yes.
They bought out the team. They always wearing number 12 jerseys, the Super Bowl team for Jacoby Jones. So that's what they had.
Wow. So wait a second. The Ravens lost a home game on the day they celebrated the life of Jacoby Jones, and they laid that egg?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that is surprising. Mm-hmm. That is surprising. George, what's the most surprising thing you saw?
The Las Vegas could be easy one. Minnesota could be easy one. But this one I'm going to go with just for Will Cotton. Them San Diego Chargers are 2-0. Oh,
will you stop with San Diego? It's Los Angeles.
They San Diego Chargers. Them San Diego Chargers are 2-0 with Will Cotton's favorite coach and quarterback combination. So, Will hating life right now, but them San Diego Chargers.
Hey, Robert, old man radio, right? Yeah. I gotta sneak in with a surprise, and I watched the Commanders play the Giants. Our correspondent Point Five had sweet tickets. That's another story for another day. But 21 points. You think it was 3 touchdowns?
No.
Not so fast, my friend. All field goals.
Ugliest game.
And we got the win. Strictly for entertainment purposes only. We'll talk about that in segment 3. So in segment 2. Going to ask the panel to give me a top 5 after a very interesting week 2. We'll see what they come up with. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
Chargers.
This is Dr. Keith Adams, president of the CKA Safe Project, with a question for you. Are you passionate about supporting student athletes? If so, then become an official member of the CKA Safe Project and make a difference today. With your membership, you'll be able to help us provide essential academic and athletic support to underserved communities nationwide. Join us in empowering student athletes to achieve their full potential, both on and off the field. Together, we can build a brighter future through education and sports. Visit ckasafeproject.org and choose your membership level now. $25 is a bronze level membership, $50 is a silver level membership, and $100 is a gold level membership. Be a part of the change. Become a member of the CKA Safe Project today.
I'm urging them right outside.
All right, fans, we are in segment 2, and Cotton Man, I will let you start. Give us your OCP NFL top 5 power rankings for week 2.
Oh man, so I'm gonna go with Kansas City Chiefs are still number 1 off the win. The Bills are looking good, especially with Josh Allen not playing great, but they got 2 good wins. I'm putting Tampa in there. They're playing as good as everybody else. Seattle quietly is 2-0. And New Orleans is playing very well. I don't know what they're drinking right now. They're probably hyped off the Super Bowl. They think they're going to play there, but they're playing very well right now. And I have a couple teams outside. I got the Chargers. Obviously, I'm not a believer, but call me biased, whatever. The Niners are always in there. Detroit's still in there. Houston hasn't. We'll see what happens Houston tonight. And I think Philly now believe that they can win the division. I think they looked at the Cowboys lay that egg and they have some little belief. So there's a lot of teams in the mix, but those are my top 5 and my 5 true believers right now.
All right. Go ahead. What's your top 5?
Well, I didn't have much movement. I mean, Kansas City's still there. I still got Philly there. Um, Texans, everybody on them, but with these other teams falling down, Texans got to make it up in there. Man, look, I've been impressed the past 2 weeks with the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, following.
Put them in there,
Yes,
man.
following.
Put 'em in
Yeah,
there.
yes, following. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings. Because they're 2-0. And, everybody else is laid egg at some point in time. Because, we had the Ravens in there. We had the Cowboys on the cusp. We had a couple of them, and people just laid eggs. So, and on top
Well,
and on top of that,
remember, Darnold was the backup at the Niners last year. So he knows a little bit of the signals. He knows a little bit of the sauce, what they're making out there.
So Fowler's feelings are really hurt. And then and then so on the out and on the outside, I got right there on the outside, he got them superchargers, courtesy of Will Cotton. Out there, but you looking at these 2-0, some of these teams, it's surprising to see some of these teams at 2-0 at the beginning of the season. We'll see if they stay there once we get in the meat of the schedule. But I will say this: Minnesota looks like they're for real. This doesn't look like a fluke situation. They look like they're for real. Now, I don't know about, I'm still out and I'll be out on the raft by myself if I need to, but I still ain't on Baker Mayfield. I still ain't convinced. I still don't want him as my quarterback. So y'all, you take that one.
All right, Sean, what about you, sir? Give me a top 5 for Sean Sear.
I got the Chiefs, got the Bills. You got to put the Saints in there. They got like over 30 points both weeks.
They lead the NFL in scoring.
Yes.
Saints lead the NFL in scoring.
You got to put the Saints in there. I'll put the Eagles, even though they haven't played yet on Monday night. And then, I got the Bucks too. Bucks are 2-0. Bucks went into Detroit. I got the Bucks too. Even though I'm with Baker Mayfield, but he's playing good. He got his money. The team likes him. The Bucks are going to go with whether Baker, if Baker can sustain this the whole season. That's the question.
Let me preface this with this whole section, this whole segment though. It's week 2.
Yeah,
it's week 2. Don't get sized.
We're not overreacting.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
We're not
overreacting. Week 2. The real Baker will show up. So that's all I got to say.
All right. So the story of the week, fans. Who are you to tell me when to stop playing? Tua Tagovailoa got injured again, and it seems he has the injuries on like national television when everybody's watching. And I got 3 people here who I trust, and 2 of them played for me, and they know how I feel about injuries. I'm uber conservative. I'm going to start with my athletic director, though. George, any thoughts on Tua? You can't tell him to stop playing, but man, he's had some challenges. What do you think, sir?
It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. We know the organization just put the money into him. So I'm not looking at them as being the best litmus test on what my next move should be. He's at a point right now, and the way things are, that his family needs to sit down and really have a serious talk about him and his future. I mean, after looking at him Thursday night, looking like a corpse there and watching his fist go lock, and there's things that happen with him that I've only seen with professional fighters when he gets concussed, which is scary. So he needs to weigh it with his family versus his quality of life, and really have a conversation with the medical professionals around him to find out what his next steps are. If you were asking me personally, it'd be the first thing on my mind to say, look, man, I need to let it go because my life is more important. But these are football players. We all know they're built mentally and physically different. So that's going to be a tough situation. It's going to be a tough convincing because, it's like anything else. I went through over almost 25, 30 plus years of my life training to do nothing but play baseball. And when it came to the end, it had to be taken from me. So this is one of those deals that, yeah, it probably is taken from them, but does everybody involved recognize it's being taken from them? And is it now, or is it going to be too late before they finally pull the plug? So that's right.
Will, you have seen my high level of conservatism. Fans who don't know, Will's senior year, we played in the state finals. Our best player, Fowler and Campbell, got hurt. And the University of Maryland trainers, when you play for the state championship at the University of Maryland, in the state of Maryland, I should say, they kind of take care of everything. And I was not going to let him play, but the trainer said, actually, it's as tolerant. He can't hurt it anymore. So I let him play. And, we still ended up losing at the buzzer. But, Will, what do you think about Tua's situation? Because I know how I am. What do you think about what he should do?
I know right now he's just feeling like he's a young man right now, and he's kind of lost because, for your entire life, you've played football, and now you have people telling you that you can't play football anymore. It's got to be very jarring for him to even come to that realization. I don't think he's going to come to it. I mean, he's young enough, right? He's not young. I don't believe he even has kids. So he's not really seeing the big picture that, the rest of the panel would see that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got kids, I got a wife, I got, my mother's on, she's getting older. I have enough money, I can take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. I think, like George says, they're going to sit down and they're going to have a conversation with older people who he respects, doctors. He's going to speak to everybody, and they're going to tell him, this is the information we're giving you. This is the data. This is the probability that's going to happen. Da, 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 da. As an adult, we're going to say we advise no. You can do what you want. I'm sure no teams would take a chance on him because obviously when you're such a high risk like that, it's not going to be a big thing. But I think at the end of the day, it'll be one of those things where he's going to talk to his family, like George says. He's going to talk to the doctors, and he's going to just take his money and retire. And he'll hold on to the end of the season. But I don't think himself staying in the NFL is going to. The reality will hit him eventually when he talks to enough people, and I think he'll make the right decision.
All right, Sean, to this day, I have never had a group of people as close as you and your teammates. You being a locker room leader, what are you talking about with Tua right now?
Just talking about, look in the past like 5 years, there's been more players retiring from concussions than it has been ever in the NFL. And you've had Patrick Willis, who was a star, retired early because of concussions. You had another one of the 49ers players who was a rookie and had a great rookie season, but he retired because of concussions. I'll be telling him, like, hey, man, like everybody said, you got to look at the bigger picture. Like Will said, he don't really have kids yet, and he's young, so he don't really get it. Like, yo, you got to be there for your legacy, for your future, and things of that nature. He's just looking at it. It's hard to tell somebody who's been all they know their whole life is football to be like, hey, you got to stop it because it's life threatening. He knew it was life threatening when he signed up for the job, but it's hard to tell somebody that. But I'll be telling him, hey, man, you got to really look at your health. That's the most important. Like you can't live if your brain's all scrambled and everything, man. You're not gonna be able to function well. Like, so I'll be talking to him like, you gotta retire, homie. You gotta retire. But the thing that's crazy is the hit that took him out. He got hit by Damar Hamlin, the dude who almost liked his life on the field. So it's just crazy, ironic the play that happened.
Keith, I think the real thing with this is it's gotten to a point now with him that he gets touched and he turns into a concussion.
Yeah.
And that's the progression of the concussion syndrome. Once you've had one severe one, it's real easy to get one again. And like this time he ran in Damar Hamlin's arm and it knocked him senseless. And the two times that he's been down, it has been one of two of the scariest things you've ever sat and watched.
And that's
on
where I
TV.
wanted to go with that,
Yeah.
George, because in the previous injury, remember, fans, Adams goes to bed early, and the group chat buzzed. I believe it was a Monday night game where he got hit, and it was really scary. In addition, he actually tried to do some things. I remember talking on the show either last summer or the summer before that he was doing judo to try to avoid, having these issues and learning how to fall and things like that. And one of the things my wife does a very good job with me of is she lets me go through my process. At the end of the day, you're going to make the right decision, but I have to allow you to go through whatever it is. So modern medicine is modern medicine, but fellas, this is 4 brain injuries in about 4 years. And the answers is right there. But again, who am I to tell you not to play?
And not just 4 brain injuries, 4 severe brain injuries, because he's been, it's one thing, and let's we don't know how deep we're gonna go, but there's levels of concussions. Okay. And you and I have been ADs, Keith. We had to go through it. So when you have that severity where it has made you look like a corpse on the field, or we have the uncontrolling movement of the hands and the arms and the straightening and stuff, that's a severe injury right there. That's a severe brain injury. And usually, like with fighters, when that kind of stuff happens, they have them sit out a whole entire year or more before they even think about coming back. Now you're talking about because of the severity. Now the next time you don't have to get hit as hard. You don't have to get so. These are things he needs to consider, because this is life and death now, right now. And I know I know, and I can think back that up to about 27 or whatever, you was like, I'm bulletproof. Can't nothing hurt me. I ain't worried, but I'm still going. That's kicked in now. So
fragile.
Somebody's got to talk him off that ledge, because he know he gonna be there. So yeah, this gonna be they need to talk about this one.
All right, I think that's a good place to leave it. So in segment 3, we will talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. This is Dr. Keith Adams, president of the CKA Save Project and author of Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. This book is your key to unlocking the secrets of being a successful student athlete. Drawing from my 30-year career as a teacher and coach, this instructional guide offers a unique perspective on achieving success in both academics and athletics. With over 15 personal stories and insightful antidotes, Finding the Balance is a must-read for student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators. Visit www.ckasaveproject.org to get your copy and start finding the balance today. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 3, we are talking about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. All right, for my season-long bets, Baltimore didn't get the win. Ain't Baltimore 0-2 now?
They are 0-2.
0-2.
I was telling fans on my way out, 0-2 teams usually don't go to the playoffs, man.
All right, don't say that, because I took the over 10.5. Pittsburgh is 2-0. Keep grinding. Detroit, 1 game. Green Bay got a win. Jacksonville has let me down, and Tennessee, I took the under, so keep losing. And Atlanta, they don't play until Monday night, so hopefully they'll do something. George, I can't even blame Will. It's my fault. I took Carolina over 6 games, and that's stupid on my part.
We told you. Told you.
It's my fault. It's all me. I'm thinking the kid's going to play better. All right, Miami, Buffalo. We'll see what happens there. Washington got a win with the field goals. Dallas took an L. I did not expect that L. I expected a tough game.
Nobody did.
They hung 40 in Texas? Wow.
Nobody did.
Especially after they beat the Browns bad last week.
And the way the offense, Cowboys offense was looking good. They was driving up and down the field, but the defense couldn't stop a cold. I told you.
No, I got Denver in the under, and sorry, Sean, I got Las Vegas in under 7 wins. That
Hey, I'm
might
not
not
mad
be
at
a
you.
good one. That might not be a good one. And the Rams and Arizona played each other, so that canceled each other out. But in terms of this week, man, I was 2-5. Last week I was 3-4. So overall, I'm 5-9 with the NFL. My game of the week was Las Vegas versus Baltimore. Took Baltimore in the points. That was a bad bet. I did hit my 2 play, Washington -1.5 and Pittsburgh -2.5. So thank you for putting some money in the coffers. My 3 play was San Francisco and the points, Dallas and the points, and the Chargers and the points. Only the Chargers did business the right way. My 4 play money line, fellas: Seattle, New York Jets, Detroit, and Kansas City. Why is it always one, Will? There's always one. It just messes it up for everybody. I took the over in terms of the Chargers in Carolina. That didn't work. But I took the under with the Jets in Tennessee and just made it by 1 point. My upset was supposed to be the Rams versus Arizona. That was not an upset. That was a beating. So there's my 2-5. Will, did you do anything strictly for entertainment purposes only this week?
I did a little bit, but nothing hit that was like that I needed. I cut some stuff. I was I got the who I got them played. I got the your boy the Chargers. I took the Chargers obviously because I know
What?
they were going to destroy. Yeah,
What?
-4.5. They were going to
It's
destroy
business,
Carolina.
man.
That
It's
was
business.
easy.
Nothing personal.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
just business. It's just
Okay.
business, man.
Okay.
Just business. But
George, I know you took the week off.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no, no, no,
oh,
I didn't.
you did
No, I
take the
didn't.
week
No, I
off.
didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I jumped in on that Thursday night game, came home big, and then let it sleep for the rest of the weekend, y'all. I got
yeah.
I came home with a nice little bit of pocket change on Thursday night. Then I let it go, y'all. I was like,
Okay.
I ain't touching nothing else. I ain't touching nothing.
All right. I got to do it one time. Charles, did you do anything strictly for entertainment purposes only this week?
Man, I had a couple anytime touchdowns, but they didn't come through.
Again, we were not as entertained as we were last week, but next week, games of interest. So, fellas, pay attention. Let me know what you're interested in. We got Chicago versus Indy. Houston versus Minnesota has now become a game of the week. Eagles play New Orleans. The Chargers travel to Pittsburgh. Miami against Seattle. Baltimore traveling to Dallas with both teams coming off losses. San Francisco playing the Rams. Kansas City versus Atlanta. Jacksonville and Buffalo and Washington and Cincinnati. Will any game next week catch your eye?
Oh man, definitely Cowboys versus the Ravens, man. They both need a win because it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I want to check out that which one do we call it? The Lions and the Cardinals too. I think it'll be like weirdly one of those like high scoring games, like 37-35, something crazy, a lot of touchdowns. So I'll be excited about that. Saints Eagles should be good. And I would like to see whatever happens tonight, doesn't matter, but I think Texans versus the Vikings. That'll be, quietly, I think it'll be a good one as well.
Okay. Sean, anything catch your eye for next week?
Yeah, that Cowboys Ravens game. Also, I want to see what's going to happen between the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams always play the 49ers good. They play them very tough and see if the 49ers will lose 2 back-to-back games.
George, we're keeping a following streak going. Anything catch your eye next week?
I'll pile on in a minute. There's a whole lot of games I'm paying to. That Patriots Jets game gonna actually really be interesting because the Patriots are doing. Nobody expected Patriots to be as solid as they are. Eagles Saints. The Saints gonna continue to put up points and stuff like they've been doing. Of course, you got the Cowboys.
Was that Alvin Kamara looking like Al Bundy with touchdowns after touchdown?
Regardless of what happens tonight, that Texans Vikings game is gonna be good. Gonna be one to check. The Packers and I'm gonna go the Cardinals Lions. I'm with that, and that 49ers Rams game. I'm gonna give you one to slip through that though. I'm gonna see what that. I'm interested to see what that the San Diego Chargers and who they playing. The San Diego Chargers and Pittsburgh Steelers game. That's gonna be actually very interesting right there because you got no matter what happens tonight, You got two teams that act like they trying to do something. Can your boy Fields get it together and put together a complete game? And has Will Cotton's favorite coach actually turned the corner with that team? So we're gonna see.
They're still going. They're walking down the street. They ain't turned nothing. They just beat a bad team.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
And they played the first game of the season. What?
By the way, note to super producer Kelly.
I've been trying.
They
Los Angeles
put their shoes
Chargers.
on. What do you mean?
I'm
Turn the
San
corner. They
Diego.
put their shoe on. He just stretched.
Sean, I've been
bit.
trying all
Oh
show
my
to
God.
get
Now
Cotton
they turn
on
the
his
corner.
soapbox, and he's
They
on his
beat
soapbox
the
now. I knew it was
Panthers.
gonna happen.
They beat.
I knew it was gonna
They beat. Look.
Here we
It was
go.
like 7-6.
Let 'em go.
For
Here
like
we
3
go.
quarters against the Raiders.
We got
And
about
then they
5
win.
minutes of this. Go ahead.
Look. They beat the Raiders. Cool. I'll give them that. And then they beat the Panthers. And now they turned the corner? How you a corner?
They turned the
They barely got
corner.
out their yard. What do you mean they turned the corner? Crazy. This guy. Get a jersey, man. This guy's a believer.
This
Guys
has
are
been
believers.
outstanding. Thank you, Will. Thank you, George. And man, Sean, it is always good to see you. Hopefully we can get you in on a regular basis. So on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
Everybody turned the corner.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.